possibility, and of course probability. So let me share my screen to see the word together. Okay. Wow. So first of all, as you can see, we have different types of models. The first one, certainty, probability, and possibility. But what's the difference between these models? So first of all, let's talk about the difference between them and then how to use them. Just you know that for present, past, we can use the same models, but but a little bit different. So, but first of all, about models of certainty. So what are they and why we use them? Actually, as the name indicates, that is, when you want to indicate a high degree of confidence or certainty, so we say certainty or confidence about a situation, you use models of certainty. And the most, we can say the most common and maybe something that we always use, and the base one is must. Oh, let me change the color. What is this? Let me change the color. Okay. Must.
Yeah.
So you know that the first model that shows the high degree of confidence is must, and we use it for present. So this is the first one. So that is, okay, strong certainty. This is the first one. Well, we have another one that is can or can't. So we have can and can't, okay. Again, they are used to indicate strong certainty, but when we say can't, when something is not true, so you know that, but again, strong certainty. So this is the second one that you can use. Now, okay, if I want to use must in past, so how to say, I can't say I must, for example, did something. It's not possible. If I say I must do, this is present. So how to use must for actually past? Must have. Like, when you want to add modals for past, like should, like must, you can add have. Must have. Actually, when you want to indicate certainty about past events, you use must have. For example, I must have left early. Okay? Yeah, it means I'm sure I did. So that is. So I must have, for example, left, or she must have left. But the difference is here. In present, we have base form, but here, no. As you can see, we need to change the form of verb or use ed, as you know. We have can't and can. So what do you think about can and can't? Do you have any idea about the past form of these modals?
Past form of can or can?
Yeah.
It could and couldn't, right?
Yeah, you can, again, I told you, just try. Couldn't is good, but couldn't, just, when we say couldn't, is not enough to state certainty. So we can say can't have or couldn't have again. So this form is, yeah, of course. So it's, when I say can't have or couldn't have, it means I'm sure that something didn't happen. So again, we have can't have and couldn't have. Of course, they are not from your book, so I'm talking, I'm giving some extra structure, so they're not part of your book, but your book only mentioned about, shouldn't and must, so just, I think it's not that. For example, I don't know, he couldn't have stolen it. So that is something that he couldn't have stolen. Just the only point that you need to know here is that you need to use past participle of verb. He couldn't have stolen. So it's something that you are sure about it that actually didn't happen. Like it didn't happen. It's not possible to happen. So this is about the first one, okay? Must, can, can't, and
Yeah.
when using have, we have past form. Do you have any question about this one?
This similar, and we can use couldn't have.
Of course,
Verb
couldn't.
mean we use them use them like third condition sentences.
Can be, but third condition, you know that it's like, you know, the structure is different. So we
Yeah.
have yeah, of course, that is definitely. So you mean would have or could have. So actually the meaning is a little bit different. So when you say would have, you know that, yeah, of course, in third conditional, you can use could have instead of would have. It's okay. But in third conditional, you are talking about, yeah, another situation. Like, you know, a situation, yeah, of course, could have somehow is like, you know, the use of third conditional. But when I say, for example, he couldn't have stolen, it means I'm sure that he couldn't, okay? So it's not, that is impossible. So that is the meaning of couldn't have or can't have here, okay?
Yeah.
Well, now we have the next one, probability. So it's really clear. We use it to express a moderate level of confidence or certainty. Or like, you know, suggesting that something is likely or possible, but not certain. How should? Should is really good modal that we can, but we have also ought to, they are the same. Should and ought to the same. For example, she should be at work. It's likely. So I'm not sure about it, but it's likely. Or she ought to be at work. So again, means should. They are the same. But you know, for negative form, it's better to say shouldn't, not don't, ought to. It's like, I don't know. So for past, again, definitely easy. Just add have. Should have. It means something likely to happen in the past or expected in the past. For
Yeah.
example, oh, they should have arrived. They should have arrived. So this is the second one. So for past, you only need to add have again and past participle. So should have arrived, ought to have arrived. Okay? It means when I say, oh, they should have arrived, it means they should have arrived by now. Like, you know? So it's like likely. Okay? This is about past form. Now, we have possibility. So this is about probability, should, and now when something is possible. But there is no guarantee, you know? It's like possible. So you can use may, might, could. Again, could can be used here. Could here, the use of could here is different from could for certainty. Because, you know, this is about third conditional. You know, you can also use could for possibilities. Or may or might, okay, all them. So to talk about something that, you know, possible, but there is no guarantee. So we don't expect, like, just it's possible. So for general possibility, may. General possibility. Okay, okay, may. For example, it may rain later. So it's possible to be rainy later. It may rain later. The second one, we have might. It's similar actually to may, slightly less certain. So, you know, when I say might, it's slightly less. So might, again, slightly less. Okay, Like, for example, yeah, I'm not sure. When I say may, a degree is higher. So it's more possible. When I say might, maybe a little less. But of course, you can use both of them. Could, again, is used to express a general possibility. For example, this could be the solution. This could be the solution. So again, I'm offering something. This could be the solution. So again, for possibility, so it can be. And we can say that may, might, could. Again, we'd have to talk about past possibilities. Oh, she might have forgotten to call. Might have. Again, I have and past participle. So this is for past. She might have forgotten. She. And let me say something. She might have forgotten. About may and might for past, I would prefer might. I don't know, for past is, more common, like, commonly used to, it's better to use might, but of course you can use may, so it's okay, but I would prefer. So again, we have modals and they have degrees. So some of them like must, could, should, may, must have, and all them we'd have for past form, okay? And this is all about these modals: certainty, probability, and possibility. Now, let's have a look. This is about future. So, this is about future.
Yeah,
Just about,
I have I have
of
a question.
course.
Yeah. How percentage of three and level of percentage. For example, when we use certainty, that means 100%.
100%, of course. And you know, just
and probability. How many percent?
Probability and possibility are different. Yeah, when because you use, let me say something that is really important. You use probability models to say how likely something is to happen.
Yeah.
So it's like, for example, I'm not sure about something. So when I say, for example, should, I can say that 50% comparing must, but when I have possibility, that is about the chance that something may happen or true. It's possible, maybe yes, maybe no, like 20%. So probability and possibility are different. Okay. Yeah. If I want to give you like 150, 20.
Yeah.
Okay, so this way you can use it. Yeah.
Yeah. That mean it look like probability, and we don't know how many percent of them will happen, right?
Yeah, of course.
Maybe 20, maybe 80%, and we don't know.
You mean, like, for example, for adverb of frequency, when we explain, we say that, okay, 100% always, then 80, then so you mean this, okay? Yeah. But actually, when we say modals of certainty or probability, first of all, you need to know that probability and possibility are totally different. So this is different. But if I want to give you percentage, I say the percent for certainty, 100%. For must, so let me say one by one. Must, 190 to 100 for must is good. Can't or cannot, 0 to 10%. Can't or cannot, 0, it means something can happen. About 0 to 10%. So again, certainty. About probability, I can say between 50 to 90. But I say should and ought to, for example, 70 to 90, it's good. 70 to 90 should and ought to. And when I say possibility, it's between 0 to 50. So, for example, may, might, could, 10% to 50%. 10, you need to do 10 to 50. And when it comes to negative, 10% to 40%, less likely to happen. So this is, you know, the percentage that, that I can give for these models.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, clear.
Yeah. Okay, well. And now let's see. This word is really easy actually for book. Will. We use often will or won't with an adverb to show how certain. For example, as you can see, we have probably, they're adverbs. Definitely, certainly, probably. Okay, so you know that. When you certain, you can use also some adverbs. Okay?
Yeah.
I am definitely sure, 100%.
Yeah.
So, for example, they will certainly rise. So the same, but you know, there's some adverbs, and you know that we use adverbs to emphasize. For example, an adjective, or for example, I don't know, verb. So we have should, ought to, as we just talked. So I'm not going to talk about likely to happen. So you know, may, might, may not, might not, when talking about possibilities, and must and can't. So you know all of them. The only thing that you should know, this part that you know, of course, we use adverbs to add, actually, you know, we can say that to boost the degree of or adjective, or for example, a verb. When I say, I am definitely sure, I'm probably sure, certainly sure, all of them can be used to actually talk about a certain situation when we want to emphasize on, for example, statement. Okay, well, now, do you have any questions related to these modals?
No.
Or okay, well, now let's have a look at these sentences. Decide if they're certain, probable, possible, or not possible. So we have an example, number 2. The airline might outsource. It's actually catering to reduce cost. Might.
Yeah, and my possible, right?
It's like possible, of course. Might outsource, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should
And
probability.
Number should, where is, number 3, yeah, should have. Okay, so you say probable, of course, should, probability. Number 4, again, shouldn't be.
Yeah, it's negative, but it's probability.
Excellent, very good. Probability, of course. 5.
Sure, that means certainty.
Of course, very good. A certain situation, of course. Number 6.
Certainty won't. It's a negative certainty.
Okay, for 6, it's like, you know, now when something is not possible, we use won't. It's not possible. Yeah, of course, we can say.
Yeah.
This one is possibility, but negative, not possible.
Yeah.
It's painful, of course. And 7.
Yeah, not possible.
Again, of course, again, certain way, of course, very good. That's not possible. 8 might not.
Yeah, may not possible.
Yeah, possibility, of course.
Yeah.
9 again, ought not to.
Ought to probability.
Yeah, it's like yeah, of course, because it should, of course, should not or ought not to, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
May in is possible.
Okay, 10 is possible. Very good. May. Well, so as you can see, the negative form of ought to, ought not to,
Yeah.
but it's like, I don't know, I would
Yeah.
prefer should. Well, this was too formal. Well, underline the correct word in each sentence. Now let's see. The competition is increasing. We might, okay, have to lower our prices. Number 2, there are several flights each day to Paris.
Must sorry. The mustn't yeah,
You're
sorry.
sure? Because just because you are talking about probability.
Yeah.
Probability, it's not, when you say, yeah, we have some evidence, like, to prove that, yeah, a situation can happen, but here must is too much. So I would prefer shouldn't here. Maybe there
Yeah.
is something wrong. So
Yeah.
shouldn't is better.
May not.
Very good, may not. Number 3, are planes been delayed?
Can
Number
can't.
4. Okay, this one, the new product has had many technical problems. So, why? Of course, so they must be very disappointed. Yeah, of course. It's
Yeah,
like,
because I confused with disappointed.
no, for sure, of course, they're disappointed. For sure, they are disappointed because, because
Yeah.
of technical problems. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the weather conditions are good. We should or must arrive in time.
Yeah, I think should.
Should is better, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
6.
Mustn't.
That mustn't be Peter. Must is too certain for this position. Maybe Peter, I don't know, just return. So who knows? Like, I
Yeah.
think can't is better here. When you use must is a little like tricky. When you say mustn't, yeah, of course, you know that the degree of mustn't is lower than must. But he knows he can't be, but he mustn't is too much. So why? Maybe he is. So we need to have that percentage. It's not 100. So here, that cannot be Peter. Is a no. So can't is better.
Yeah.
7.
But
Yeah,
mustn't mean 100.
of course. But are you sure of 100? As I told you, 90 to 100%, like, you use must. But it's not.
Cannot about 0 to 10%.
Oh, this one, no. For this situation, you can't. Let me say why. About 0 to 10% when something is possible, okay?
Yeah.
But here, for example, when I said, you mustn't have done that, it's okay. Or for example, you mustn't do, that is 0. But when I say I'm talking about the situation that I predict, no, he is not. Am I sure? Or maybe 10%. Now I say that 0 is too less for this situation. Maybe 50, maybe more than this. Maybe he can be, but I'm not sure. So can't is actually a bit less certain here. So it's better to use can't. That for when I say 0 to 10%, the use of it is a bit different. So how to use, in what context? So here, no, we can't say.
Yeah. Okay.
Can't is better, of course.
Yeah.
And
Nice. May not.
yeah, may not is really good. Yes.
Yeah.
And the last one.
Must.
Yeah.
Must.
Next Friday is possible. As possible, I must be, no, I might be available.
Yeah.
Of course. So
Because
again,
in the first sentence, it only 100, right?
of course.
Yeah, it might be 50 to 80%,
Yeah,
right?
of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, do you have any questions related to the sport?
No, I don't.
Okay,
Because I
just
think I have to read a lot and practice a lot too.
yeah, just
Yeah.
let me add something. Maybe it can help, especially about mustn't. It's about negative form. So let me add something. It can be helpful. For example, about mustn't and can't. First of all, you need to know that they are used for prohibition, like strong necessity. So to avoid something, of course, I mean. Well, but when I say you must not touch, that is forbidden. Like, I actually get it to 0%. So it actually mustn't happen. But when I say can't, actually it's like, we can say that, yeah, maybe a bit moderately, not a lot, again strong, okay? Because something that is not possible. So here the meaning is a bit different. Because of this, I said that can't is here better, because we are talking about possibilities, not rules. When I say, oh, mustn't, it's rule. Definitely no. So because of this, this 10% helps. Yeah. Okay.
It makes me a little bit confused because I have learned about the must and need, and must we use for some rule, and
Or
everyone
obligations,
must to follow the rule, right?
of course.
And need mean guys will guide me or guide us to step by step to do anything and something, right?
Of course, it's like,
Yeah.
when we say need, it means it's good. But there is no rule if you don't. So needn't or need, yeah, you're right. But actually, this is another use. It's like, for example, when we say second conditional, when we say wish, there are different uses of any structure. Here, we have another use of must. Of course, we use for obligations and rules. This is, but when it comes to certainty of prohibition, so here we are talking about certainty of prohibition must not directly express certainty about something, about a fact. We are talking about fact here. But when we say cannot, actually cannot is used to talk about certainty of impossibility. So the difference is here, must for fact, can't for possibility, like, impossibility. So because of this, we would prefer the use here is different from following the rules. For example, when I say, again, I say, you can't sit here. Maybe, of course, it can be a rule, but not as certain as you mustn't sit here. So mustn't is,
Yeah.
Well, okay. Now let's keep going with your favorite part. After doing some grammar, after this confusion, it's time to recovery with listening. Okay, you just forget about everything.
For prepare to good practice well. I think let me one minute to read it before listening.
Of course you should. Of course you should.
Yeah.
You need to underline, as I told you before, I always say that first of all, you need to underline the keywords because you may actually hear the same words, the synonyms or definitions. Commission, who, why, longer, 2 years. While you're reading, I can. Okay, fine.
Already,
Okay, just let me check. So because you're not in order. 14.
Recording 11.3.
Oh, no. It's 14.4. Here, I think.
New intermediate market. Unit 14. Competition. Recording 14.4.
Okay, perhaps we could start, as we agreed, by discussing the kind of relationship we want.
Okay.
Usually with a major distributor or agent, we don't offer an exclusive agency agreement because they don't want it. They like to use and distribute the products of most of the top companies. They make more money that way.
Yes, a non-exclusive contract would be perfect for us too. As you know, we represent many famous brands and will be happy to add your product lines to our list.
Right. Now, prices. We like to recommend prices for each overseas market. We advise on minimum and maximum prices for each of our models.
No, that's no good for us. We prefer to set the prices for all the products we offer. We know the conditions of the market far better than you. We would set the correct prices to maximize profits, of course.
Okay. It's not really a problem if you prefer it that way. I won't argue with you. Now, the commission. I suggest a rate of 15% on all the revenue you obtain, either directly or indirectly. Is that okay?
15% is too low. We want at least 20%. The market is very competitive. We'll have to spend a lot on advertising and promoting your products.
Yes, but we could help with this.
How much will you pay us?
Well, we might go 50-50 up to an agreed limit. We can talk about the exact figures later.
I'll have to think about it. We will talk about the commission later.
Let's discuss the length of the contract. Normally we offer 2 years, and to be honest, with a new distributor, we prefer a shorter period. Either side can terminate with 60 days' notice.
Well, it must be at least 3 years for it to be profitable for us.
Well, we can talk about it later. I suggest we break for lunch now.
Well, a type of relationship they wish to have.
Partnership.
Partnership, of course. Just, it was like non-exclusive contract.
Yeah, contract.
Non-exclusive. You heard this one. Non-limited, we can say. Yeah, of course. So they agree.
It equal to unlimited contract.
Of course, yes, not limited, of course, yes. And who sets the prices?
Yeah, I don't know, but it's not advertiser. It the owner of the product.
Of course, like manufacturer. Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Manufacturer, of course, offers the maximum and minimum prices, but it's like there are agents. So we have another person, but yeah, the first one who offers the prices, yes, manufacturer. But who sets? The agent actually could set them. They offer, the agent sets. Yeah. And payments of commission.
20. The first manufacturer says 15.
Did they agree on the rate of commission? Did they agree? I'm not sure.
In the last they said that they will be discussed later, right?
As I heard, manufacturer offers 15%, but agent offers 20, so they don't agree.
Yeah.
So 15 and 20, I heard like this, maybe 10 or 15, but 15 or 20 it was like. And who pays for advertising and promotion?
50-50 for both.
Yeah, of course, 50%, yeah. And the next one, why does the agent want a contract to be longer than 2 years?
Because he thinks that it's a long campaign will make the stable, and they can gain enough benefits.
Like, it's more profitable, you mean?
Sorry?
To make more profit.
Yeah.
It's more profitable. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
The contract, so the longer contract, the more profitable. Yeah, of course. Well, okay. So do you need to listen again? Now having answered? Yeah, okay. So let's check the answers again.
Recording 14.4.
Okay. Perhaps we could start, as we agreed, by discussing the kind of relationship we want.
Okay.
Usually, with a major distributor or agent, we don't offer an exclusive agency agreement because they don't want it. They like to use and distribute the products of most of the top companies. They make more money that way.
Yes, a non-exclusive contract would be perfect for us too.
Yeah.
As
would be, so they wish to have a non-exclusive, would be perfect. So wish.
you know, we represent many famous brands and will be happy to add your product lines to our list.
Right. Now, prices. We like to recommend prices for each overseas market. We advise on minimum and maximum prices for each of our models.
No, that's no good for us. We prefer to set the prices for all the products we offer. We know the conditions of the market far better than you. We would set the correct prices to maximize profits, of course.
Well, yes, manufacturers, so they offer but maximum, but of course, because they have agents have better idea about the market, so they can set. So they offered, manufacturer offered, and of course they could change.
Okay. It's not really a problem if you prefer it that way. I won't argue with you. Now the commission. I suggest a rate of 15% on all the revenue you obtain, either directly or indirectly. Is that okay?
15% is too low. We want at least 20%. The market is very competitive. We'll have to spend a lot on advertising and promoting your products.
Yes, but we could help with this.
How much will you pay us?
Well, we might go 50-50 up to an agreed limit. We can talk about the exact figures later.
I'll have to think about it. We will talk about the commission later.
Let's discuss the length of the contract. Normally we offer 2 years, and to be honest, with a new distributor, we prefer a shorter period. Either side can terminate with 60 days' notice.
Well, it must be at least 3 years for it to be profitable for us.
Well, we can talk about it
To
later.
make more profit, of course.
I suggest we break for lunch now.
Well, okay, so now let's match the phrases on the left with the more diplomatic phrases on the right. Okay, so when we say we must talk about price first, which one can be a good, equal, or for example, paraphrase? Of course.
I think we should talk
Of
about
course. Of
price
course.
first.
Yeah. And number 2.
Number 2 is D. I'm afraid
Yeah.
we can't give you any credit.
D. So it's like, yeah, of course. Number 2 is D. I'm afraid we can't give you any credit. Of course, there is no way. Yeah, of course. D.
C.
No, number 2 is D.
Number 3 is C.
Yeah, of course. 3 is C. Yeah. Could you
Yeah.
possibly give me a discount, of course? 4.
Yeah. For A. No. For B.
Yeah,
I'm
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. 5.
F.
Yeah. If you could alter the specification, of course. And the last one, that is
A.
A, of course. Very good. Well, okay. Let's keep going and listen to fill in the blanks. So listen to these extracts from the negotiation. Complete the sentences below. Decide whether the speakers are being diplomatic or not diplomatic. It's like, a bit artistic. So we say that it can be more formal, more polite, especially we use indirect questions to be diplomatic. Like, when you discuss actually practicing to conducting negotiations, especially between nations, different cultures, different people. So it's really important to know how to using indirect questions, not directly asking or talking. So that is the meaning of diplomatic. Now let's listen. We have time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to confirm about the meaning of diplomatic.
Of course,
That
yes.
That means formal and not formal, right?
Yeah, of course. Let me say something. Yes, it's somehow formal, but slightly different. How is different? For example, you know that we have diplomats, that is diplomatic people. So what it means, they have the ability to say the right thing when, for example, two friends, two countries are fighting, and they can make both sides happy. This is the meaning of diplomatic people or person. Now, in fact, this can be actually an art to say, yeah, formal language can be diplomatic. Why? Because we are really careful about what we say. So we have some concerns. about what we say. So that is the meaning of this. Yeah. Well, of course. So, and it's really positive because it can help professionals to build the actual relationship and build really good relationship in the workplace. Because when you later, let's skip this one. Let me say something about this. Actually, we have indirect questions. I'm not sure if we talked about them. Like, for example, I say, where is the bank? You say, what is that? How are you asking me this question when you don't know? Could you please tell me where the bank is? This is diplomatic, like indirect question. So I'm asking something in a polite way. I'm careful about what I'm saying. Or so normally we use indirect question to be more artistic, more polite, like, you know, this one, they can be a part of. So you are definitely right. Formal language is diplomatic. So we need, but not every time. So it depends. Yeah, of course, it depends what you say, but yes, you're right. Well, okay, so no more time. Let's skip this part.
Yeah.
Any questions? Any other questions you want to ask?
No, I don't.
Okay, very good. And just have a wonderful week, fruitful.
Yeah.
And see you at the next session.
Yeah, thank you. And
You're
good night and see you on the next session.
welcome. Good night. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Goodbye.